Save the Semantics, episode 201. It is February 21st, 2023. My name is Myro. This is the podcast where I ramble on for a bit about some shit. Recording this on kind of a unconventional time for me. It's during the work week, actually. Oh, it's a little scandalous. Middle of the week. Had some time on my hands. I'm dealing with like a weird thing, just in terms of just working and shit. So I was able to find a pocket of time to record. So yeah, why not? Why not do a little bit? Probably a bit of a shorter podcast for this episode, but why not? I didn't record last weekend, this past weekend, so I just kind of wanted to put something out there regardless. So yeah, here you go. I've been doing decent, I'd say. Just doing a little update for myself, but I'd say I've been doing pretty decent for the most part. This past weekend was nice. It went pretty well. I've had a solid, well, until now. Right now it's kind of crappy, but I'd say I'd had a decent start to this week. So we'll get through this little weird patch. Just kind of just a bit of a it's kind of a rough patch at this moment, but we'll get through it. But I'd say other than that, it's been going pretty well for me. I feel that I haven't been too overly stressed with work, which has been really nice. This is like in comparison to the last couple years, it feels like I feel a lot more in control of shit, which is good. I mean, it just kind of helps, I guess, with my current workload. I feel like, of course, it's still a lot at times, but I feel pretty good right now. I feel pretty decent in terms of what I have on my plate. I feel productive, and I have been productive. I've gotten a lot of shit done. I've been generally on top of things. Yeah, I've been getting decent sleep. I haven't really felt, I don't know. I think I just, it's all right now. It's not too bad. Other than just right now in this very moment, it's not super great, but it's okay. But yeah, I'd say in general, things are okay. Things are okay. Last time I talked about the Nintendo Direct. Some time has passed now. A lot of the updates have kind of gone forth. So I want to talk a little bit about that because I've been having some fun with the new DLC for Xenoblade. And then I also started back up Breath of the Wild, which has been fun because it's been a very long time since I've touched that game. So I've kind of started to play it again, just sort of in anticipation for Tears of the Kingdom. And it's great. It's great to kind of explore Hyrule again in that world. So I kind of want to delve into that a little bit. But just kind of briefly touching upon the Xenoblade DLC. The Gauntlet run has been really good. It's really solid. I think it'll last me for a little bit. I'm trying to think how many. Like I don't think it's gonna have the same lasting power as, say, like Slay the Spire. That's really just my frame of reference when it comes to like roguelike games. One, because there's not like a daily challenge. The daily challenge really helps for Slay. It keeps things fresh. Like, even though there are some like reoccurring runs with like similar conditions and stuff like that, I still think that just kind of switching it up with the type the type of character that you're using, and just kind of like the variations on like the limitations that your run has. It's like maybe it's like one path, like a single path for all the way through, or you're not able to smith or upgrade your cards, like that sort of thing. So in terms of that, I think the you know, the gauntlet mode for Xenoblade is, I really wasn't expecting like that. I wasn't expecting like a daily thing. That might be that might be a lot, but what we've gotten has been a nice surprise. It's been challenging. It's um it's sort of given the battle system kind of this new face in a way, because the way you approach it is different from like a typical when you're just kind of normally going through battles in the the base game, um because one, you don't have access to all of your characters. You pick one character, you start with them, and then you sort of pick up different characters as you go through your that specific run, so I think that and then just considering the amount of classes, the main six characters, there's a lot of variations that can really work out. And so far, I haven't done a ton of experimentation. I've really just kind of like stuck to the classes that I feel pretty comfortable with and that I feel can really succeed well. It's like whenever I try to, or when I have tried to sort of venture out and use a character with a class that they're not super high like level in, it just hasn't really ended well. Like, I've noticed that if I start off my character with a healer class, it doesn't go super well. Like, it's usually better if I stick with like an attacker class. So that's that. But it's been fun. It's been cool. I like the thing with like kind of the rogue element is that I just enjoy. I don't know. I enjoy the ability to kind of try again. You fall and you're like, okay, something like, of course there is some RNG involved, so your luck kind of does play a factor in terms of how you succeed in a specific run. But I think that that kind of incentivizes you to make certain decisions, like what kind of if I'm starting out with a specific class, how do I want to build out this roster, and what do I want to focus on? You know what I mean? Maybe you want to focus like a ton on dex and like crit points and shit like that, and then so you kind of like dump a lot of your points, or you dump a lot of like you dump a lot of the points you receive during the run into emblems that support like attacker classes and shit like that. So I don't know. It's cool. It's been a fun little experience so far, and I think that'll keep me kind of busy. Not busy, but it's something that I can kind of just play along whenever I have time, and I don't have to invest a whole lot much else into it, especially right now when I am super busy. So yeah, it's a nice class, or it's a nice little addition to the game. I haven't completed the new hero DLC yet, so that's also something that's kind of available for me to complete. A new class and more shit like that, so that's fun. More things to kind of look forward to. Keep me afloat until Tears of the Kingdom, and then of course the final DLC for Xenoblade, which is probably going to come out later this year, so excited for that. Some stuff to look forward, a lot of stuff to look forward to, so I'm pretty happy about that. Speaking of Zelda, I copped Breath of the Wild because I just really had a itch to play it again. It's been a long time since I've really delved into the world, and it's been great, man. It's I haven't put a whole lot of time into it. I just started a run, so I just it's been nice just to kind of experience some of the things. I know some of the mechanics. I've picked up, I've sort of kind of recalled a lot of the things that some of the strats, I guess, that can kind of help with the playthrough. Some of like the speedrunner strat where you're whistling and running at the same time so that your endurance doesn't go below zero, or it doesn't like deplete at all. That's like something that I've been just kind of doing, but yeah, it's been fun. It's been fun just to just explore the world again, try kind of new things. There are things that I've been like, oh shit, yeah, that's right, that was a thing. And it's been cool, just kind of just dicking around. I was pretty confident like that. I was like, yeah, I remember how the battle mechanics go and stuff like that. But I've gotten killed a kind of an embarrassing amount of times. I admit, like I'm like, damn, I thought I was better than this, and it's like, nah, no, you're not. You're not that good. So it's just the game has humbled me. But that's been good. I feel that you can't be too overconfident when you go into even if it's a game that you've put a good amount of hours into. Like they can find ways to surprise you. And yeah, I'm excited to kind of keep playing that, keep it sort of a casual playthrough. I'm not super, your first playthrough of a game. I'm really sort of just like putting a lot of weight into everything that I do. I explore every nook and cranny, but this time around I'm just gonna like, I don't have I'm not gonna search for every like Korok seed or anything like that. It's like if I stumble across a thing like a little puzzle, I may or may not go for it. So it's very casual. I don't have too many goals in mind. I do want to challenge myself, at least with this run, to keep my hearts as minimal as possible and then like max out like my endurance gauge, just because I think it's important. I much prefer to have the ability to climb things and get around to places, as opposed to, I guess, conserving my health. If it's just one shot death, I just got to deal with it, so playing on I guess hard mode, I guess, but I think that's fun. And it's fun to kind of challenge myself to do that kind of thing. Among other things, yeah, it's just been a good time so far. I haven't really, again, haven't put a ton of hours into it, but hoping that I can kind of just carve out some time in my schedule just to play a little more, because I love Breath of the Wild. I think it's fantastic, and I'm very excited for Tears of the Kingdom. I haven't really watched. Now I remember, I say certain things about goals and doing things that I want to do to, I don't know, just sort of keep things fresh and interesting. I haven't really watched like a movie super recently. It's been a little bit. The last movie I saw, I think, was Glass Onion. But I do have a movie on my kind of watch list that I really want to check out because I've heard really good things about it and it seems really fun. A movie called RRR. I haven't watched a ton of Bollywood movies. I'm familiar with how they go. I remember being like, back in high school, I remember being this kind of just like weirdly obsessed with this one Indian actor. Oh, what was his name? Oh my god, what the hell was his name? Joseph Vijay. He was huge in India in the Bollywood scene back in the day. I just remember seeing this one clip. Like, there's a lot of Bollywood produces a lot of like crazy ass action clips. I love that shit. That shit is like my jam. Like, I think it's kind of akin to sort of I don't know, kung fu cinema in a way, where you just like, you get these like gravity defying stunts and just like all this stuff where you have to kind of suspend your disbelief, but it's very cartoony, but I dig that. I think that's a lot of fun. I just remember seeing this one scene where where the main guy, Joseph Vijay, he jumps from like an apartment building onto like a train, but it's like the distance is so like far away. You're like, there's no way. There's no way he would have made that in real life. He just like catches onto like the handlebars on like the side of the train. And it's like, what? And I was like, damn, what is this? And that's when I kind of got introduced a little bit into some Bollywood movies. And I remember like watching some of the free ones on YouTube, including the one where that scene came from. And I had a hard time following what the fuck was going on. All of these movies are so long for some reason. Like all of them are like 3 hours, and it's like 3-4 hours, which is like crazy, because you got there's just so many set pieces. It's like it's fucking crazy. Like just the scale of everything is very large, and it's very like epic, and that's what makes it a lot of fun, but it's also a lot. Like it's a lot to kind of take in. I think that it's sort of like, I don't know, you're not at least from what I remember from watching those, is that you're not like super invested in like the story necessarily. It's all the theatrics. It's all of the other like shit that's being thrown around. People like jumping over cars and like, doing these like crazy like these crazy martial arts fight scenes. It's great stuff. But I understand if some people might be like a bit turned off from it, because it's pretty silly at times. It's very silly. Anyways, I've heard a lot of great things about RRR, just in general, from a lot of just film commentators on YouTube and shit like that. And it's been a while since I've really taken a look at Bollywood stuff. And I'm excited to kind of delve back into it, because I just really enjoyed watching those things when I was a little younger, back in like high school and shit. So I'm curious why this one in particular like hooked people. It's like I think they're, because like I'm assuming that's something, because I'm gonna try my best to articulate what I'm thinking, but I feel with like Bollywood, there's a bit of like this kind of there's like kind of a barrier of entry in terms of like what you kind of expect, because like if you watch like a typical Hollywood movie, like it's pretty much like it's pretty standard, like beat for beat, like you know what to expect, right? Superhero movies, that sort of thing. But with Bollywood, it's just the structure of the movie is so different. You know what I mean? Like, sure, the plot could be really simple. Like there could be this, good versus evil type of thing, but there's just so much other filler stuff that's like in between all of that. You know what I mean? You got like dance sequences, you got these like crazy ass fights, you got these like crazy chase sequences. It's just so much other stuff. It's just packed with stuff, you know what I mean? Like it's not just a movie, it's a whole act experience, right? So I think with, if you're going in anticipating, a typical Hollywood movie, you're getting way more than that. And I think that might be, I feel that can be a little overwhelming to a lot of people, you know what I mean? Especially if they haven't especially if they're not familiar with like Bollywood stuff, you know what I mean? And I'm really not that familiar. It's just that I've seen like a few of those movies, so I kind of know what to expect. Going into this one, RRR, I kind of have an idea of what, the tone and shit like that. But I think that, I don't know if it's gonna really necessarily. I think that if this film kind of permeated within sort of like, Western film audiences, then it must have done something that kind of captured their attention, you know what I mean? So I'm really interested in seeing like what kind of drew those audiences in. And I'm just excited to check out another Bollywood movie, because it's been a minute. So that's kind of on my list. I don't know when I'm gonna get to it, but this is another thing. It's high priority though, you know what I mean? I want to check it out. Among I gotta stop saying among. Other than that, not a whole lot else to really discuss, but I just wanted to throw some shit out there. It's the middle of the week. Who knows? I might record something this weekend too. I don't know, maybe not. But it's just, who knows if there's anything else really to discuss. But I just wanted to kind of get my thoughts on stuff. Status on how I'm doing, which is decent, pretty good for the most part. And yeah, just cobble up some things that I'm looking forward to. Anyways, thanks for listening. This has been Save the Semantics, signing off.